Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, Britt and Jamie. Excuse me. Yeah, you were reading my mind. I was thinking, it's late. I know I'm joining in a bit late than usual, and that's was worked for my schedule. So glad to have you for the live if you're joining in the replay. Hello, Joe, Rochelle. Yeah, let's see. Okay. I'm going live again. Also, very late Friday night in the US as well. Yeah, so hello, Elena. Good morning. Hi, Amy. Excuse me. Oh, yeah, it's been a little while. What is it? What's today? Wow, it's Thursday. Okay. For me, it's Thursday in Bali. And yeah, I haven't been live since Sunday. So usually I go live 3 times a week and more kind of spread out. So anyway, that's the schedule for this week. So glad to have you. If you are new, say hello if you'd like. Don't forget to follow me here on Insight Timer. Give a donation if you would like. Always appreciated. You can catch the replay of this and all my lives on my YouTube channel, so subscribe there, to Facebook and Instagram as well. Reach out if you would like to schedule a session with me. You can see the various ways I work on my website. I've got 2 more places for one-on-one life coaching clients. So yeah, I am almost full. And full meaning like still having plenty of space and time in my schedule and in my day to be with my clients, everyone, do what I need to do, do my live streams that I love, and all of the things that I'm up to and that I'm creating. Yeah, so hi J.E., hi Friendly Paws. Also, I have an email newsletter. I would love to have you subscribe. I send it out monthly. I'm working on it right now, and I'm sending a fun, exciting announcement for a new offering that I've alluded to and talked about quite a bit over the months, and also it's going to be becoming a reality. So I'll give you the sneak peek of the news now that I will be starting my Overcoming Under Earning, Creating Abundance, Financial and Money and Abundant Material Abundance group coaching program June 1st. So stay tuned for that information in my newsletter. I also already have it up on my website. I have a web page on there. You can read about it, you can inquire. And it's going to be a limited amount of people. So I have like a special offer and discount if you're one of the first 5 people to sign up. So lots of fun and exciting stuff there. And also, if you're a current client, I also have a special offering for you as well. So, yummy, yummy good stuff. Today we will be doing our live on There's Nothing Wrong with You, which is a lot of the work that I do with my clients in the one-on-one coaching. Yeah, just had a really powerful session this morning working with someone around releasing creating space around the limiting beliefs, the judgments, the stories, the, that intrinsic old pattern that's programmed in of that there's something wrong with me, you, something wrong with you. And creating space to work with that, to challenge those beliefs and those thought structures and patterns, to come out of the story of there's something wrong, I'm not enough, I'm not blank enough, I'm a failure, I'm stuck, I'm overwhelmed. So perfect energy for the day for us to dive into that topic here in our live stream. Is there anybody here who they've not joined in this particular topic before? And if you are new, we're going to be experiencing the book There's Nothing Wrong with You by Cheri Huber. If you are new, don't worry, you're catching it at the perfect time, and the replays are available if you like this and want to dive deeper. If you want the free PDF copy of the ebook, send me a private message through Insight Timer, website, anywhere, social media. Hi, Carol, great. And trust that you found this at the perfect time. So, the way we do this format, and I get to pull it up. So I play an audio recording of the author reading this book. So let's see. Let me just make sure.
Horrible things.
Okay. I'm just going to rewind it a bit. So the book is called There's Nothing Wrong with You, Going Beyond Self-Hate. And then it's also got like a third, I'm just going to look. I can't read it. A compassionate process for learning to accept yourself exactly as you are. A compassionate process for learning to accept yourself just as you are. Who all wants that? So that's what this book is about. And yeah, we're about halfway through, and that's okay. Again, you're finding it at the perfect time. Hi, Duchess. Great. Yeah, wherever you are in your day or your evening, just go with the flow, be with what's here. I also will be channeling Reiki as we listen and experience the material. And so I just play a snippet. I just go with the flow on how long that will be. It could be 30 seconds or it could be 20 minutes or anything in between. So sometimes I'll replay the snippet. It just depends. As those who have joined in and joined into this, you know that it's very deep and powerful. So, it can take, it needs to sink in and settle in some of the ideas. So, I may rewind it, etc. But basically, if you are new here, if you haven't been in this topic much with this live stream, or you're not a client and this is new information, basically the premise of this book is that it starts with the idea that as children we are conditioned to be humans in the world, which means there's discipline, there's structure, there's do this, don't do that. And in that process, for most people, the caretakers, the parents, or whoever is raising the child, does it with a certain level of unawareness to where there's a lot of making the child wrong, blaming, shaming, and making the child wrong for whatever it is they're doing or not doing. And this is not to say that it's, we're blaming the caretakers because they are only doing what was done to them. Also, it's not about condoning any abuse, of course. And also, it's like if you go into blaming, where does the finger pointing end? It doesn't, because it's like it was done by their parents and beyond and beyond and beyond. So it's not about focusing there, just about an acknowledgement of where this all comes from. And it happens between 0 and 8 years old is where this deconditioning and reconditioning or conditioning happens, which makes it all the more powerful, because whatever you heard as a child in your world, in your environment, was spoken to you, becomes the paradigm in the way in which you see yourself in the world. So the problem with that is most of us were programmed with shitty ideas and beliefs and disempowering and just not the best ideas. So the thing is, when we can see that, we can then wake up from it and do something about it. If you're hearing this, if you're even a person who's downloaded Insight Timer, who's on a spiritual journey, whatever that looks like, if you meditate, if you are interested in these topics, you're already on the journey. So it's about first seeing this as here, then waking up from it, having the awareness, and then that brings you to a place where you can choose differently. So, the core limiting belief, that this book talks about is, the title of the book, There's Nothing Wrong with You. So, the limiting belief is there's something wrong with you. And if you start to notice, where does this show up in your life? Are you always making yourself wrong? Are you always judging yourself as not enough? You don't fit in, you don't belong, there's something wrong with you. You're too this, you're too that, you're not enough this, you're not enough that, you shouldn't be or do this. All of that stuff is within this structure of there's something wrong with you. So it's about waking up in the dream of that programming in the moment of, oh, wow, there it is again. The mind is believing this, is caught up in that old program. And then you get to be a choice that you don't want to be run by that program anymore. So it then comes to first acceptance. Oh, okay, this is what's here. It's not about making it wrong or getting overwhelmed by it or frustrated. It's about pure acceptance. There's the nothing wrong pattern again. That's it. Can I be okay that that's what's here? Then comes the place for compassion. Can I have compassion for myself in this moment, in this human predicament? That I'm doing my best? Can I have grace? Can I have some softness for myself right now? So that's sort of an overview, and the book goes deeper. And again, if you want the audio link of what we're going to listen to, if you want the PDF, send me a private message. So Friendly pause. Josie Grossi. Yeah, those childhood situations and dynamics can be so powerful and follow us into now, up until now. So if you choose to receive the Reiki, you can just have the internal intention to do that. And as we are listening, I will be channeling that. And I invite you to be totally present and focused as you receive this and be in this space. And as I said, I'll just stop it when I feel called to stop and discuss. And please feel free to ask questions, make comments. That's part of the richness of this space, is the discussion we get to have. So let's go ahead and dive in. And let me know if the volume is not enough or too much.
The next level I encounter is level 2, fear. I've made it past the distractions. I'm being compassionate with myself. And then there's this little moment of silence. What do I get? Fear. Big fear. It says, you're going to die. And I think, how can that be the answer? I've gone through all this and that's the answer? So I come back to level 3, self-hate. And I see that self-hate is pretty handy because it works in both directions. I can go from fear to self-hate, and I can go from personality to self-hate. It's very flexible. I can hate myself for being afraid, and I can try to fix myself so that I'm not afraid, and I can be afraid of the fear, and I can hate myself for being afraid not to hate myself, all designed to stop me from getting to the center. Perhaps with patience and willingness and experience, or just plain old having suffered enough, I eventually realized that this whole process of going from personality to self-hate to fear to self-hate to personality and back again has been exactly what I needed to be doing to learn what I needed to learn. I realized that every step I've taken has been on the path. Perhaps I realize that it's all been happening perfectly, and that true nature was never inaccessible, never out of reach, always present, always guiding me. There never was anything wrong. I just didn't know it. Horrible things, and I do mean horrible. Self-hate is invested in convincing you that you are an awful person, that deep down inside you, there's some horrible thing. Why? Because it stays in charge that way. It can just say, boo, and you'll jump back and do whatever it says. But you can call its bluff simply by saying, bring out the horrible thing. Show it to me. But self-hate can't do that. And the more it cannot show you the horrible thing, the more it will dawn on you that maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe there isn't a horrible thing inside of me. Self-hate begins to scramble at this point because power is shifting away from it and shifting toward the part of you that is able to step back from self-hate and carry on this kind of dialogue with it. The part that can begin to stop believing there's something wrong with you. The part of you that is beginning to be free. The gift. I maintain my identity by not looking at myself. This system, this identity, cannot hold up under scrutiny. Nothing can. So, right before I begin to see myself, my conditioned identity, ego goes on the defensive and the voices start. I'm bored. This is stupid. I don't need this. I can't do this. This doesn't work for me. I got too much to do. It can sound as if we see self-hate as an enemy, but we don't. Gandhi talked about his political opponents as teachers. For to have worthy opponents is a blessing. They will force you to be the best that you are. That's the spiritual gift that self-hate is for us. Regard.
So that was a powerful statement. We want to demonize the mind, the ego, what the book calls self-hate. Just like Gandhi had enemies that he didn't call his enemies. So can you see that this whole pattern is actually here to help you? It reminds me of the idea of suffering Eckhart Tolle talks about, and maybe Adyashanti. That we need suffering until we don't need it anymore. It's not necessary. It's necessary until it's not. The suffering is grace to help us awaken. So is there a place within you, because it's so natural, I mean, I do it, and there's nothing wrong with that, of just like, the ego's bad, oh no, I was identified with thoughts again, you know, I should be further along than this, I'm better than this, why am I still, you know, getting caught in illusion? Oh, I see I'm making it wrong, that, you know, I'm making the ego into an enemy, I'm making the mind into an enemy, and thoughts, you know, I'm doing it wrong, I'm not doing it good enough. All of that is so subtle and insidious. But actually, yes, life is happening for us, not to us. Even this self-hate, even this programming, even this conditioning, even this ego that, you know, my mind wants to make it wrong. Even Michael Singer, I said this morning to a client or something, somewhere, that the mind is just doing like what we told it to do. It's just trying to solve the problem we gave it to solve, and it's an impossible problem to solve. You know, I want to be happy. How can I be happy now? So the mind is always working on that. There's always something it wants, or something it wants to get rid of. I'm actually going to play, so I mentioned this last week, and I still have not finished making a reel out of this Singer clip. But listen to this, and it talks about the patterns of the mind. So this is like a 2-minute Michael Singer.
There is no condition of the outside that will have you be okay inside. If you haven't caught that one on yet, you haven't opened your eyes. Anytime you get what you think you want, it changes. What changes? Both what you want and the thing. So it doesn't matter. If it stays the way you wanted it, you don't want it no more. If you change, then it's not what you want. It just doesn't stay that way. Anytime you get what you want something else. It has to be that way. Want to know why? Because you're not okay. You have come up with conditions that you think will make it better. You think will make it okay. They won't. Getting a car is not going to fix your broken heart. Eating ain't going to do it either. And they say shopping works well for depression. Not really. Okay, I mean, have your hair done or buy a new suit or something. You go on a vacation. It's not going to do it. Temporarily, it distracts you from your problem. That's all it can do, is distract you from your problem and make your problem go away. It's coming back. Don't worry about it. All right? So net is, you can't solve an inner problem outside, but you're trying. And the very fact that you have going on inside what it is that's going to be needed and what's going to fix you is sheer ignorance. And then if you get it, for a moment, it's like, whoa, wow, that's neat, right? And then because it didn't really fix the problem, It just distracted you. The moment you tune back and you find the problem still there, you will have to come up with something else to solve it, because this didn't solve it. I experimented once. I went to people, I said, I want a list of what it is that you think will make you happy. And not a single person listed the things they already have. Because you already know they don't make you happy. You already got those. Done, been there, done there, tried that. It don't work. So if you really want to be happy, list the things that will make you really happy. You're always listing stuff you don't have. So once you get it and you realize it didn't do it, you'll go pick something else.
Truth bomb. That's why I love Michael Singer. So I brought that in because I was talking about, like, the mind is always, there's always a problem to solve, which comes back to there's always something wrong. There's something wrong with me. I am a problem to be fixed and solved. I need things outside of me to make me happy. I need either I want something or I want something to go away or stop. But what I love about what he just said is every single time, and think about this for yourself, every single time you've thought you wanted something and you actually got the thing, how long did it make you happy for before then you wanted something else? And he said something like, it changes, it doesn't work because it always changes what you want and the thing. Yeah. So this is like another way that this whole system fits together. The nothing wrong with you story is about, this perpetual, never-ending, unsolvable problem, that there's something wrong with us and that we can shame or hate ourselves into loving ourselves, and it will never work. But what the recording was just saying before, the singer one, was that we don't want to, actually the self-hate and actually this whole, the ego and the wanting things, it's all here to help us. It's our teachers. It's what is going to help us to wake up from this illusion and this dream and this suffering. So let's continue in the nothing wrong with you.
Regardless of what you were taught to believe, there never was anything wrong with you. Guide. Okay, let's hear some self-hate. Answer this. What's wrong with you? Group. Everything. I can't figure out what's wrong. I can't get it right. I'm never serious. I'm ungrateful. I'm critical and judgmental. I'm hellbound. I'm angry. I'm never going to get what I deserve. I'm not a team player. I'm a wimp. I'm closed. I can't be trusted. I'm a phony. I'm lazy and self-indulgent. I'm careless. I'm too serious. I'm a coward. I can't get with the program. I'm never satisfied. I don't pay attention. I talk too much. Too slow. I'm a quitter. I don't think enough. I can't keep up. I'm not good enough. I'm selfish. I'm mean. I'm unfriendly. I'm unworthy. I'm unlovable. I'm dishonest. I'm proud. I always have to be in control. I can't talk right. I'm stupid. I'm out of control. I'm too emotional. I'm too sensitive. Guide. As you were answering, I watched people grow younger and younger. You were taking a quick trip back to childhood. The voices changed, the body language changed, the energy changed. Suddenly I was sitting in the room with a bunch of small children, and they're very dear. Self-hate uses self-improvement as self-maintenance.
Okay, I want to pause that. Self-hate uses self-improvement as self-maintenance. Let that sink in. You get that? Self-hate uses self-improvement as self-maintenance. Is that landing? Do you see how significant that statement is? Do you see that it's true? So how many others of you besides me are on this personal and spiritual development journey that never ends? And all the judgments that you just heard, I'm too this, I'm not enough that. This is what I highlight again and again in this live stream is it's the whole system. When you engage anywhere in the system, you're in the system. Hi, Star. You think too much about something, you're not the only one. Amy, Elena, thank you. Yeah. I mean, I have been in AA since I was 17 years old. I've been in therapy since I was 16. Or that was the first time I went. I went to my parents sent me to drug rehab at 17. So talk about a lifetime of being in a self-improvement or development or whatever space. I definitely can relate. Yeah, that's a great question. Friendly pause. And this is where, the book says that we've got to come out of the system that there's something wrong. It talks about it, and that's a great question, and I feel like might be a little more, nothing, I'm not being able to articulate anything clear, so I'm going to let that go. But I think what it is that when we come out of the system of self-hate, when we come into full acceptance of who we are in each moment, that we have compassion for our predicament and for ourselves. And then if we see something, a next step to take, and whatever that means about, quote, self-improvement, that we're coming to it from a different paradigm or mindset, rather than coming from a place of I need fixing, I'm a problem to be solved, I'm not good enough. Hi, Gina. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure you're not the only one that's had a similar experience, so appreciate you sharing. One thing I would invite you to do is look at shifting your language. My anxiety is so powerful, and creating a different statement there. And even the anxiety is there, it's trying to help you. Yeah. J.E., great thought too. So it's not just about us and our individual consciousness. It's about the collective and society and conditioning and ancestry. So we're not here to break the patterns just within ourselves and in our thoughts and in our minds right now, but within the ancestral lineage and the collective. Hi, Sunny. I love that example. Yeah, I like to tell the example about like, okay, there's a parent and there's a toddler learning to walk. And if you are a parent, then you've been through this. But if not, you can imagine. Think about a child taking its first step or two and then it falls down. You don't make the child wrong for not being able to walk or falling down quickly. There's only acceptance and compassion and support. And then the child gets up again and takes another step. You're welcome, Gina. Yeah. Anxiety being called pathological. I mean, you know, anatomy and physiology, it was anxiety is there for a reason. And then, you know, systems become out of balance. So, yeah, lots of wonderful thoughts here. You guys know that know me, Conversations with God, which will be our next live stream on Friday, late night, Saturday in the day, Bali time. Conversations with God has a quote that says, I mean, it doesn't say there's such a thing as sin in the traditional sense, but it says if there was a sin, it would be something about like humans believing things that are not their own. And that most of the thoughts and ideas and judgments and beliefs in our minds are not ours. So it's about that noticing, accepting, not giving energy to it and making it wrong, just okay. There's a sensation in the body. That's right, Friendly Paws. The Landmark Forum calls it the racket. So we will do a bit more listening to Nothing Wrong With You. If you don't already, give me a follow here on Insight Timer, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Give a donation if you'd like. I've also submitted my new premium meditation. I'm waiting for it to hopefully be approved immediately. It's called Total Surrender. So I'll let you know. Hopefully they will approve it. And that will be exciting. And join my group here, Natalie's Healing Circle. So, here we go.
As long as you're concerned about improving yourself, you'll always have a self to improve, and you'll always suffer. It's no wonder we feel inadequate. Self-hate encourages you to judge and then beats you for judging. When you judge someone else, it's simply self-hate projected outward. then it's all turned back on you and you get a beating for judging. We call this heads you lose, tails you lose. The worst thing that could happen.
I'm going to rewind that.
I'm not a team player. I'm a wimp. I'm dissatisfied. I'm unfriendly, emotional. I'm too sensitive. A quick trip back to childhood. And they're very dear. Self-hate uses self-improvement as self-maintenance. As long as you're concerned about improving yourself, you'll always have a self to improve, and you'll always suffer. It's no wonder we feel inadequate. Self-hate encourages you to judge and then beats you for judging. When you judge someone else, it's simply self-hate projected outward. Then it's all turned back on you, and you get a beating for judging. We call this heads you lose, tails you lose.
Did y'all catch that? I actually, on the PDF of that book, I screenshotted those quotes because they are super powerful. Self-hate uses self-improvement as self-maintenance. As long as you are concerned about improving yourself, you'll always have a self to improve, and you will always suffer. So this is what I keep saying about it's the whole system that's flawed. If you are concerned about improving yourself, there's always a self to improve, and then you will suffer. So it's an illusion. It's no wonder we feel inadequate. Self-hate encourages you to judge, then it beats you for judging, right? It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. You judge someone else as simply self-hate projected outward. Then you get to use it back on yourself, and then you beat yourself for judging. How many can relate to this maddening cycle? Self-hate judges self or others. Then it beats you up for judging. So it's like we've got to pull the rug out from under this whole system. Because if you play in it at all, you're in the system. Yeah, so... Great example, friendly pause. Perfect for this. You judge him, then you judge yourself that you judged him. So you're in the system. What I would suggest, if you're open to suggestions, that you do a Byron Katie Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. And if you want the resources for that, send me a message. I can send that over. But basically you would, it's judge your neighbor. So he's so dirty. And you break that thought down because it's the thought that's creating the suffering. And who else can relate to those thoughts? Awesome, Amy. When we're living in integrity and we're living true to ourselves, it helps. Hi, Marielle. So I am going to wrap up our live stream now. If you missed some of it and want to go back, you can catch the replay on YouTube. You can ask me for it. It'll be up within 48 hours. Yeah, Britt, that's totally, I get that. So it sounds like it's that system, self-hate encouraging you to judge, then beats you for judging. Hi, Louise. Ooh, you should be grateful. Who is speaking there? Is that the loving, compassionate voice or the self-hate voice? There's another quote that I favorited in here. I've said it before. I don't know if I can find it. If the voice is not speaking compassionately to you, it has nothing worthwhile to tell you. Everything you need to know will come to you in compassion. So the I should be grateful voice is not a compassionate voice. And there's something else in this book where it says, you know, if shaming and hating ourselves if we could shame and hate ourselves into change, it would have worked. Ooh, friendly pause. So, sounds like there's a part that loves shooting all over yourself. Likely it's not the compassionate part. So, is there anything anyone else has? And we'll continue this next time. If you want the audio link, send me a message. If you want the PDF, don't forget to check me out. Follow me here, there, and everywhere. Hi, Becca. Yes, that is the name of the book. There is Nothing Wrong with You by Cheri Huber, Going Beyond Self-Hate. Yes. And send me a message if you want to be on my newsletter email list. I send them out once a month, so it's not, a lot. And if you were here earlier, you heard me make a special announcement that I'm going to be starting our amazingly fun and powerful group coaching program on creating financial freedom, overcoming scarcity and lack. Who wants to make more money? Who is tired of struggling, making ends meet, or worrying about money, or having all of those old conditioning from childhood? It starts June 1st. So stay tuned for more, and I will do a live stream on that topic soon. Thank you, Jamie, for the donation, as always. Elena, Friendly Pause, Becca, everyone. And my next live is on Conversations with God, which is, I would say, like my top 3 favorite books. Or top 3. So loving you all from Bali. I'll be going to Sri Lanka for the Sri Lankan New Year, which I didn't know was a thing. So will be interesting to see how that goes. I won't be gone very long, but yeah, then I'll be back to Bali, which has been a special place for 10 years for me. I do offer one-on-one bespoke retreat packages if you feel the call to come to Bali for transformation. You can reach out about that. You're welcome, J.E., Amy. Namaste. See you all very soon. Bye-bye.